What is up, people? This is me, Spec Poo Football 24 here. Coming off the day one of the NFL draft is exactly as it went down with that order that we've been talking about for an entire month. Jared Goff goes number one. For the Los Angeles Rams, good luck with their quarterback. But the Philadelphia Eagles go number two, and they select Carson Wentz from North Dakota State. But what I'll say about Carson Wentz is not going to be a whole lot to say about him because he's going to be sitting back and he's going to be learning. He's going to be developing while Sam Bradford's still going to be starting in the 2016 season. So we won't see Carson Wentz, and hopefully, like at least we won't see him at least until like 2017. But at best, if he's really ready, we will not see him until I'll say week 6, either week 6 or maybe week 10, depending on the situation. Like say if the Eagles are close to the playoffs, then yeah, we won't see him until like week, on a game that won't matter for the Philadelphia Eagles. Like say if it was week 16, week 17, we won't see him till then. So do I like the idea of Carson Wentz having to sit? Yes, because just the thing with Carson Wentz, as good as a quarterback he was over there at North Dakota, I still feel like there were some issues with him. Like say for me, I did not like Carson Wentz mechanics. I didn't like. For me, I just don't like the way how he throws the football. But just the thing, as long as he gets it out and as long as he makes it work, it's all fine. Another is I don't like his footwork. I really don't like his footwork all too much. I still feel like he needs to work on it a little bit more. If he does, then he'll be fine. And that'd be all well and good for me. That's the luxury of having to sit back and learn for a year. Is you can not only study the playbook more, you can not only watch the speed of how fast these players are playing in the NFL, but you also get to work on your mechanics. Aaron Rodgers is a prime example of this. We all know coming out of California, Aaron Rodgers' mechanics was terrible, terrible. The way how he threw the ball, everything was terrible for Aaron was like Aaron Rodgers. Now, if he did, and now everybody said what would happen if Aaron Rodgers started that year, if they did let go of, let's say, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers would not have a good year. I doubt it. I doubt he'll have a good year. But that's why he had the luxury of sitting back for a year, if not, and not even just a year. He sat back for 3 years because Brett Favre did not want to leave. Brett Favre didn't leave until I believe it was after the 2007 season. So we didn't see Aaron Rodgers until 2008. He was drafted in '05. Yeah, 2005, 2006, 2007, basically, yeah, 3 years. So yeah, with him, he shows how much you can benefit. He's the prime example of how much you can benefit just for sitting back and learning for 3 years. Another one is Philip Rivers. When Drew Brees was still there and there was questions about his shoulder, they picked up Philip Rivers for really just about that exact reason. Not only because it's for competition, but only because of the fact that they wanted to see how Drew Brees can do coming off that shoulder injury that he had. And that shoulder injury he had was pretty damn bad. So, you know, uh, yeah, I definitely can't wait to see Carson Wentz very soon. And I hope he works out because that guy's the future. We gave up picks for this guy, and I hope he works out very well. Same thing for the Rams. I hope Jared Goff works out very well for them. They trade up a whole bunch of picks as much as we have just to get their quarterback of the future. So I'll catch you guys later. I'll be doing the third round as well. When the Eagles when they pick up their third round selection, I'll be doing that as well. So yeah. After that, I'll probably talk more about the first round. You know what? I should talk more about the first round anyway. Fuck it. I'm just gonna give my takes on some of the picks, and after that, I'll be done. To be honest with you, the Cowboys selecting Zeke Elliott, it was a good pick, but just the problem I have with it is that they passed on Jalen Ramsey. You could tell with some Cowboys fans and even Des Bryant himself, he was not happy with this pick. Not to say Zeke Elliott's a bad player, but because the defense is in dire straits and they really need a DB that can help them out. Because Orlando Scandrick, he's not going to do it forever. The Cowboys, they don't have a good pass rush. They picked up Cedric Thornton, but Cedric Thornton is not a pass rusher. So Cedric Thornton is a run stopper. We had him for at least about, Eagles had him for at least about 2-3 years. So take it from Eagles fans that know how he works. He's a run stopper. Don't try to don't have Cedric Thornton in passing situations. Don't have him on the field because it's not going to work. Another thing is their linebackers. They have issues. I think they did re-sign Rolando McClain. That's all well and good, but Sean Lee, everybody want to talks about, everybody want to talk about, Jordan Hicks and his injuries, but look at Sean Lee. Jordan Hicks, his injuries coming up, but Sean Lee, the dude still hasn't been able to get him right. He's been in the league longer than he has. Sean Lee just got injured recently. Got injured last year because of serious concussion issues. I'm like, that's something you got to look out for. And, for me, the Dallas Cowboys better hope, and they have a good shot of him, of Miles Jack, and I find that as a crying shame that guy dropped the way he dropped, the way out of the first round. I feel so bad for that dude. I really, really do. But yeah, if I'm the Cowboys, I take advantage of Miles Jack, honestly, because this is the thing: you can't rely on Rolando McClain. Not Rolando McClain. You can't rely on Orlando Scandrick, who also just got hurt. You can't rely on him every time. You can't rely on Byron Jones. Granted, he's a good draft pick and he's young, but you can't rely on him every time. It is how it is. Because if the Cowboys are really gonna stick with this secondary, they're gonna get torched in 2016. Mark my words. Another team that I feel like that was a questionable draft pick. Granted, it was a good position pick, but it was not a good guy to go after. The New York Giants. Eli Apple in every mock draft is at best like a late 20 draft pick, if not like early 20s. He's a 20 draft pick guy all day long. I'm very surprised that they passed up on Vernon Hargreaves III because I really thought that the Giants was going to take him. Instead, the pick after that, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they pick up Vernon Hargreaves III. That's a good pick by them. Have him right next to Brent Grimes, that's a good defense. So, for me, there'd be some questionable draft picks, especially going on in the NFC East. Like, there's two right there. One by the Cowboys, one by the Giants. The only good draft picks that came from is obviously the Eagles and of course the Redskins. Josh Doctson is the best wide receiver in this draft. They could not have picked up a better guy. And honestly, they stole Josh Doctson away from the Minnesota Vikings because Vikings fans were saying all way before the draft that they were going to get Josh Doctson. Turns out they were wrong. The Redskins got him. And now the Cowboys, the Giants, and the Eagles have to deal with Deshaun Jackson, Pierre Garçon, and now Josh Doctson, who's probably going to be in the slot throughout 2 games a season. Now, it is said that Deshaun Jackson and Pierre Garçon are going to be free agents, so he's going to get a chance to start outside sooner or later. But I have to give credit where it's due. Josh Doctson is going to be a very, very good weapon for Kirk Cousins, this season. So that's what I think for the NFC East and their draft picks. I'll catch you guys later for day 2. Peace, people.